I'm Nick Seco from HomeRight Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome back to Let's Talk TriState, all powered by HomeRight Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the Right Choice winner in the 2024 Best of the TriState. Our next guest, who we love and adore, we have Rae from Girls Inc. of Washington County, and we love having you here, and thank you so much for coming back and joining us today.
Oh, it's always so much fun coming over here, so thanks so much for having me back again and again.
Of course, and I know it's been a while since you were kind of telling us everything that's going on with Girls Inc. of Washington County, but just let's start off, anybody who's new, what is Girls Inc. of Washington County, and what is the mission and the purpose?
Yes. So Girls Inc. of Washington County, we are an after-school program primarily, and we serve 12 various schools in Washington County, but then we also have outreach programs that visit every high school and middle school as well.
Okay.
So we serve girls from K through 12 in any way that they need support through our Strong, Smart, and Bold programming. We also have a summer camp, so that way we're not losing all those academic gains over the summer.
And what do you think is your favorite aspect of Girls Inc.?
Probably the girls, hands down, easily. They bring so much joy into the world. It's so exciting to see how much hope they have for their futures. And it's an awesome honor to be a part of that and helping them get there. And just being that safe and trusted adult, I think, I speak for all staff, I think that's kind of our hands down favorite thing about being there.
And is this available to anybody, or
Absolutely.
Is there any kind of eligibility for it?
No, a lot of people think that it's, low income or anything like that, but we try and keep our costs low because childcare is expensive, and a lot of time that falls on the woman in the household's responsibility. So we like to make sure that it's affordable, whether you're a single parent or dual parents with great incomes. Our program is great, and it's for all girls.
And when you guys do the after-school program, how do the girls get from the schools to, I know you've covered this before, to the facility? Is there transportation provided?
Absolutely, and that's actually how I got my start with Girls Inc., is we have van drivers that go and pick the girls up at their schools and deliver them to Girls Inc. in these big 15-passenger vans. So you might see us driving around town in them. That, to me, holds such a special part in my heart because I think every girl knows what it's like to drive around in a vehicle with all your girlfriends, singing to the music, and that's what it's like with the girls.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's so adorable to see them all singing Miley Cyrus or Alicia Keys in the back of the van together.
I'm sure they all sound wonderful, too.
They really do. They're so cute. So, yes, we provide transportation.
Do you guys do, I know the Girls Inc., when I was an educator in Frederick County, they did a running club with the girls. Is there a running club or something along, like a run with the buddy?
It is a different program. So that's Girls on the Run, and we've partnered with them in the past, and some of their curriculums we do have the girls work with in our Strong programmings, where they're learning about healthy living, being physically active, and ways that they can incorporate that into their daily lives.
So what are some of the activities that the girls do in the after-school program?
There are so many
I bet.
things.
Yeah.
So we try and break it down into Strong, Smart, or Bold. So depending on what area of their life that particular class is focusing on. So our Strong programs, like I said, healthy living. Our Smart programs are things like STEM. We have a beautiful
More
STEM center.
academically.
Yeah,
Okay.
academic achievement. We also have tutoring because not the majority, but like 67% of our girls are reading 2 grade levels below.
Wow.
And so we have a tutoring program that helps each individual girl go over the things that she's struggling with to help get her up on her levels. And it's a really fun game, so the girls don't feel like they're
Reading,
still in school.
and just reading to a
so
teacher.
They have a lot of fun with that, and it's a great way to help those girls get those strengths up that can easily fall through the cracks, especially when they're in school with a bunch of other kids.
Yeah, it's easy to camouflage that while you're in school. Is that available to everybody, the tutoring?
So it's just for our girls and girls, but I do know the program we use is Lexia Core 5. I do believe that's available in most schools these days.
But all the Girls and Girls Inc. have access to the tutors?
Yes.
Wow. That's amazing.
We're definitely looking for
I'm sure.
more tutorers to come help facilitate that. It's very easy. It's kind of like classroom monitoring because each girl has a Chromebook. So a lot of people, I have a lot of educators in my life, and they're all like, I don't know if I can really, what my skills are at this point. But if you have an hour available once a week, that helps our girls raise their reading levels up tremendously.
Absolutely.
So.
I mean, I can relate a lot to this because I was an educator for so long. It's hard to give, when you have 22, 23 students in your class, it's hard to give everybody the individualized time that they need if anybody's behind in their reading. So it's amazing you guys have that available. So when the girls come in, let's say someone's brand new to Girls Inc., will you ask them what area do you want to work on, smart, bold, or strong?
So they rotate their classes every day. So every day throughout the week, they're going to a different class.
Okay.
And each class is held for I believe it's a 14-week session. And so then they're constantly rotating throughout the year as well. So they're always getting some type of new information that can help them with whatever different. There's just so much.
So tell me about some of the other ones, some of the other things. So you have the tutoring and the STEM, which I think is incredibly beneficial. Anything that you can stretch that creative muscle, I think, is so important.
Yes.
But tell me about the bold and the strong areas.
So one of the ones that I like a lot are, so one of the biggest issues that the girls are facing these days is building healthy relationships. So we have a life skills class where we have a therapist that comes from Laurel Life and comes and works with the girls on feelings and processing emotions and having those hard conversations.
Yeah.
So one of the things I think is the best that I've seen is the fact that in my generation, it was constantly girl against girl. And there was bickering and gossip and cliques, and we don't have that at Girls Inc.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is conflict, but we all know how to work through it really well. And so I think that's one of the best things that we're offering them currently is learning how to build those healthy relationships, especially because the girls that we're currently serving spent their formative years during a COVID lockdown.
Yeah, right.
And so there's a lot of social isolation that they're still working through as they're now in 4th and 5th grades. And so preparing them to go into middle school where things can get a lot more dicey is an excellent opportunity for them.
Yeah, because you're right when you said the girl against girl. I don't know where that comes from. When we all should be reuniting and building each other up. But I know social emotional learning was a big push and is a big push in many classrooms. And I think it's so unbelievably important to know how to fight and have conflict effectively.
Yes.
It's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. But how can we do it in a way that is productive for everybody? So that's really great. Wow. Okay, so that kind of covers what pillar was that?
That one we put under bold.
Okay.
Having those
Bold
conversations. Yes.
Sure. And so let's switch over to strong. Is that more like athletic?
A lot athletics. So one of the things we've been offering a lot this year are different clinics in all the various sports that a girl could get into in her life.
Okay.
So we've had basketball, we've had volleyball, we've had cheer, we've had pickleball. So we try and have a couple different times a month a fun clinic come in so that the girls are getting a taste of what it's like. Because what we heard from the parents is that the girls get to middle school and they want to join a sports team, but the sports teams now require experience in that. So we're here to help give the girls a taste of all these different sports. We used to have a really big sports program back 20 years ago, and it's kind of branched off. So now we offer our building as a rental facility for sports teams to come in.
Oh, okay.
So a lot, like even last night we left an event and there's a volleyball game going on in our gym, and it's just so cute to see, because it's like, oh, those were our girls, and now they're on sports teams in high school in our building.
And maybe you inspired them to get into that sport. You know, that's amazing.
Like so.
And so it starts at what age can you join Girls Inc?
At 6 years old.
6 years old. So that's first grade?
Yeah.
And then goes all the way up to...
We go all the way up to high school. We're really expanding our teen services this year. So we have a couple of different opportunities for teens to be involved, not only with us, but in our community as well. So we've got our youth working on advocacy projects, and currently they're doing an awareness campaign for teen moms and like their postpartum care, because, you know, teen pregnancy in Washington County is an issue, and they're still girls. And so we're like, they fall under our jurisdiction, so we want to make sure that they're cared for and have all the resources that they need, because, you know, we did have a situation where we had a pregnant teen, and I went looking for resources for her, and it was hard to find.
I bet.
And so we're like, okay, well, this is an issue. So we're making all those resources easily accessible, finding the girls where they're at, meeting them there, and making sure that they're cared for.
So it sounds like you're always evolving. Like there's always different things that are coming up and evolving. Now, is that your job to be, because it sounds like you kind of took on that workload with the teen pregnancy. Is that what you do?
So I help we partner with the Washington County Health Department, and I work on our youth advisory board with them, but not primarily.
Okay.
So I have a whole team that works with our youth. One of them's rising up because she's working with our Girls Inc. teen program, which is our teen advisory council. And so we're kind of joining them together. So it's everything's a team effort. For sure.
Do you find, I'm sure, I would assume the answer is yes, do you find that attendance drops off as the girls get older?
Absolutely. Especially because our girls tend to be overachievers. So they get into high school and they are in every after school club and group and
that's
honor
great.
society that they can be in, and like just so many things. So we understand they get very busy. So one of the things we like to offer our youth are to come back for summer camp, and we put them in leadership roles, and so they can help guide little groups as we go from our field trips to the pool and to the park and do activities. They help lead those, and that's one of the things we work most on is growing girl leaders, and so giving our youth an opportunity to step into those roles, but also at the same time allowing them to still have a fun summer and explore and go on adventures. It's a wonderful opportunity that we love.
I'm sure the little kids love that too. I can imagine they really gravitate towards that and think that's so like a big sister relationship.
And some of them are their big sisters. They crack us up, really. The sister dynamic it's just so special, and we really get a close look at what that looks like. And you know, and it's a very own conflict of we have to work through sometimes, but for the most part, I think our sisters all have really wonderful relationships with each other.
And do you guys still have room if somebody wanted to join Girls Inc? Do you have a capacity? Or
so our capacity basically goes off of, is our van full? Are we at max capacity to provide transportation? And even at that point, if our van is full, we still offer the opportunity, if you can get your girl here, we'd love to empower her.
Right.
So a lot of parents will have their grandparents come pick them up at school and drop them off. Some have even had teachers drop them off. There's a couple private schools around where the teachers have dropped the girls off after school. So we try not to reach capacity because we always want to empower every girl we can.
And do you have to join at the beginning of the year, or can you come in at any point?
Any time. You know, especially because some girls have, you know, I think there's like an orchestra thing going on that it goes for a couple of weeks. So sometimes we'll lose them for a couple of weeks and then they'll come back. So it's always ever evolving, and we have wait lists for our vans. So if you want to come but it's full and you can't provide transportation, there's a good chance throughout the year you'll be able to join us.
Somebody moves and the spot opens up.
Absolutely.
And you did say it is just a small fee to be a part of Girls Inc?
So it's $70 a month.
Okay.
Which we try and keep costs as affordable as possible.
And you'll keep the girls at the facility until what time?
They stay until about 6 o'clock Monday through Thursday, because we also offer them dinner. So we like to keep them if they want to stay until dinner. They're welcome to stay. And on Fridays, we don't do dinner, so we close at 5. But one of my favorite things, I think a testament to what we do, is when they're called for dismissal because the parents can come pick them up at any time they want. And when the girl, we have walkies all over the building, and so I'll hear on the walkies all day. They're like, oh, it's time for her to go. And they'll be on the walkie going back, like, can she stay for 5 more minutes?
Aww.
And it's that. And I'm like, I love that the girls love to be
Yes,
here.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite.
That's got to make you feel really good.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know. I remember when I was a kid, I wasn't in Girls Inc. or anything like that, and I don't even know what the program was. My mom took me to something after school, and I did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference. You know, it's if you're really thriving in your environment and you're around like-minded people and doing fun, creative things, I mean, you're going to want to stay. It's going to impact you tremendously.
Absolutely.
And so, do you guys have any big fundraisers? I know the Mud Run is a big one of your fundraisers, but that was back in September.
Yes, so we're gearing up for Muddy Mamas again soon in the spring. Registration will open up in the springtime sometime.
That's next month, by the way.
I know.
That is next month.
I'm not ready. So I'm trying to push it back to like maybe April or May.
I can't believe that.
Girls Inc. Week coming up, where Girls Inc. affiliates from all over the country and in Canada all come together it's girlsinctogether.org, and it's a big virtual day of giving. And so we can all highlight the fact that all over the country we're working to empower girls.
That's awesome.
But we do have before that, that's the first week of May. But the next fundraiser, we just had Grapes for Girls last day of January at Cortland Mansion. That was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a wonderful event.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then we have our Bonanza, which is March 8th. I think that's the first Saturday. It might be the second Saturday. But that is at the Elks Lodge.
Okay.
And that's a really fun event, too. I was just telling Liz about it. It's just casual and fun. We have balloon pops and an auction and a family-style dinner and dancing and music. So it's a real fun event.
Is that a ticketed event?
It is a ticketed event. You can reach out to Girls Inc. to see how many tickets we have left by giving us a ring. Our board members are mostly responsible, the ones to selling them. So if you know a board member, that's an easy way in. So it's probably getting close to sold out.
Okay.
It's not sold out already, but it's always sold out.
Give us, before we wrap up here, how about the phone number in case somebody wants...
301-733-5430.
Well, good. You know, hopefully we can come out and be a part of that.
That would be
because we
wonderful.
love Girls Inc. We love you, having you here, and thanks for everything you do in the community.
Well, thank you so much for having me back. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, of course. We'll be right back with Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by Legends Bar in Chambersburg. You can satisfy your sports fix at Legends Bar with game day specials and cold brews. Hollywell Avenue in Chambersburg.
Let's talk Tri-State.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.